The member for Hughes.
My question is to the Minister for the Environment and Energy. Will the Minister update the House on the government's national energy guarantee and how it will deliver an affordable and reliable supply of energy for hardworking families and small businesses across the nation, including my electorate of Hughes? And has the Minister aware of any other alternate approaches?
The Minister for the Environment and Energy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Hughes for his question and know that he supports the government's efforts to reduce power prices and create a more reliable system. And indeed, the National Energy Guarantee is a credible, workable, pro-market policy which will help lower prices and create a more reliable system. It involves no subsidies, no taxes and no trading schemes, Mr Speaker. And given that 371,500 jobs were created in the last 12 months, lower energy prices will continue to help this strong jobs growth continue. Now, Mr Speaker, I know that those opposite like to write books. In fact, their front bench often looks like an Oprah Winfrey book club, Mr Speaker. We had from the member for Lily, the second most famous old boy out of Nambour High. We had The Good Fight, Mr Speaker. We had from the member for Fenner the book Battlers and Billionaires, an odd title given he's a bit underpaid, Mr Speaker. We had from the Leader of the Opposition For the Common Good, although it probably would have been better titled. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there, Mr Speaker. And we know from the member for Rankin, this was the member for Grainler's favourite book title. In fact, his pick of the week because it's titled Changing Jobs, Mr Speaker. Changing Jobs. But then we discovered that the member for Port Adelaide had a book, Mr Speaker. And it's a pretty bland cover, but I said don't judge a book by its cover. It's called The Climate Wars, Mr Speaker. And so I read it and I thought, what does it say? And I started to agree with it. He says, the truth is that we in Labor have sent too many mixed signals about climate policy in the previous years, Mr Speaker. He said we've made mistakes in both the design of our policies and their presentation, Mr Speaker. But then this was the best. I was on a street corner in my electorate of Port Adelaide and a guy came up to me and said I was never sold on the whole climate issue. I thought you were all piss weak, Mr Speaker. That's what they said, Mr
Minister
Speaker.
Will withdraw.
I withdraw, Mr Speaker. I withdraw. But then, Mr Speaker, after hearing about that, I said, what did the rest of the book say? And importantly, the book said, investors... I withdraw, Mr Speaker.
I know, and...
Mr Speaker, the book also said, importantly, that we need a substantial level of bipartisan support, Mr Speaker. The book also said there needs to be a consensus between the two major parties. The book also said, ironically, that the AMC model was a central element of Labor's 2016 election platform, Mr Speaker. So here the Labor Party, through the member for Port Adelaide, has said in his own words that Labor has made mistakes in the past and they're looking for bipartisan opportunities. Well, we are now presenting it with an expert recommendation from the Energy Security Board, so if Labor wants to get on board, they can do so.